If he wants to train young black men in how to avoid being killed in the city, you can talk about police. No, police should never kill anybody unjustifiably.
Right.
I've put them in jail when that happens. But you should spend 90% of your time talking about the way they're actually probably going to get killed, which is by another black. To avoid that fact, I think, is racist.
All right, that's Mayor Giuliani and talking about Bill de Blasio and Mary Matalin, Republican political consultant, former advisor to Vice President Dick Cheney, and former campaign director for President George W. Bush, and the list goes on. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Stevie Wonder. Happy Friday. Happy almost Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I was going to do the Merry Christmas to you at the end, but Merry Christmas to you and your husband and family right back at you. Okay. You know, to me, this is what a lot of people on the left, including our president, our attorney general, they're thrilled that the media is bringing this forward and keeping it going into perpetuity here with America is being torn apart by race here, and it's not.
It's not, and they are conflating many issues, and worse, they're politicizing issues for which there are real problems and there are real solutions. So as Giuliani has said, we live with this issue in New Orleans, which everyone believes is the murder capital, when in fact 98% of the murders are black-on-black crime. That's a real issue, and it's not about race. It's about a panoply of conflated issues, from education to employment to juvenile justice to the justice system in general. So that is a different issue. I would also say that it's a more important one than trying to say that there continues to be deep racial divides. There are not. We certainly made a ton of progress. There's also a big difference between what happened in New York and what happened in Ferguson. There is an absence of common sense when cops who are underpaid and over-endangered are chasing people around and feeling endangered themselves because people are selling loose cigarettes. I mean, come on. The penalty doesn't comport with the crime, and that's a consequence not of training but of crazy liberal agenda.
Right. It's been revealed that it was the number 2 man in the number 1 right under the commissioner, who's African American, who put forth the new policy, if you will, on not tolerating these loose cigarette sales anymore, and as opposed to giving a ticket, wanted an arrest made. So the cops were doing their job. The guy said, "No, you're not going to take me, you're not going to touch me, and you got to arrest a person when you're trying to arrest a person." It was unfortunate what happened, and you're right, no comparison to Ferguson, where the cop was attacked and beaten and his gun reached for.
And by the way, these are FBI statistics. More blacks kill whites than whites kill blacks, and it's so there's not this. If the reason this is a news item and such a spectacular, overblown one is because it doesn't happen all the time. But that there are problems and there are real problems. I'll say again, when you get arraigned here, you're in jail for too many months. We're fixing that, which means you're going to criminal school. It is true that blacks are disproportionately pulled over for drugs or disproportionately convicted and prosecuted. And that's just, we have a drug war problem, too. And cigarettes don't even fall into that. That's a tax problem. If they weren't $13 a pack, then they wouldn't be trying to sell them loosely. This is just insane. The whole thing is insane. And to conflate it and to bring it to the presidential level as a fuming distrust between the community, the police community, and the African-American community is disgraceful.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had the mayor of New York City standing next to the police commissioner saying that he's afraid for his own black son, because he's a mixed marriage, his own black son, he's afraid that he'll be harmed by his own police force. I mean, that's insane.
You know what? He's I don't know how you New Yorkers, God love you, I go there all the time, I love New York. I don't know how you could go from Bloomberg to de Blasio. I just don't get it. I went to law school in New York before Giuliani, and it was a scary place. It's the most improved, reformed, wonderful city in the entire interplanetary system, and you've now hired this lunatic? He's a lunatic for more reasons, and that's just additional evidence.
Yeah, well, you know, honeymooning in Cuba to support Castro, supporting the Sandinistas in Nicaragua, that's just a few of the things. I think he fancies himself as the next Obama.
Well, good luck with that.
Hey, Mary, we didn't get to immigration. We didn't get to some other things, Mary Landrieu, but she'll be old news by next week anyway. But hopefully we'll speak before Christmas. If not, have a wonderful Merry Christmas, and thanks for all you do for the show. Appreciate it.
Love you, Steve. Love you all. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care. Mary Matalin, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Mary Matalin. I always say Matalin. I don't know why. Man, I always get somebody always criticizes me for it. You called her Matalin again. Mary Matalin. Lignet contributor Gordon Chang is next.